have arrived to our destination. This place is called Ole. Ole is called Ole. So it's a really small name for a short name for a place. But as you can see, it's quite beautiful here. Still end of summer, a little bit summer temperature, but it looks like it's starting to come a little bit of autumn colors as well, almost. But yeah, we've just had a cup of coffee and now I'm heading out to see if I can find something to photograph. We have not seen much bird life. I have seen a couple flying over us, but what I have seen is dragonflies, or damselflies, I also think it's called. So I brought along the 100mm macro lens to see if I can capture some nice pictures of dragonflies and damselflies. I know one of them is called blue damselfly. So let's see. I also have the tele lens along with me as well, in case some birds pop up. But yeah, I'm just gonna look around this river area here, see if I can spot some dragonflies that are like nesting or resting on some of this high grass, because I already seen them. They are coming and going along down here. So I'm just gonna see if I can find a good spot, wait, and hopefully some of them will land in close proximity to me. So yeah, that's the plan. So hopefully I will get some nice pictures. All right. Yes, I had been here now for I don't know how long, like half an hour I would say, at least. Actually maybe close to an hour, to be honest. But yeah, I've been sitting around here. There's been a couple of dragonflies coming and going, as well as those damselflies. I think I'm just gonna say dragonflies, and I'll put the real name of the insect on the picture. But yeah, I did manage to capture some of them sitting and resting on this kind of high grass here, as well as some other plant-like grass as well. I had the macro on. This is a EF lens, it's not the RF, so I am using the converter as well, but I don't struggle that much. The autofocus are really good at finding the insect and capturing sharp images, so I'm quite happy. I think this is a good buy compared to the new RF. I haven't tried out the new RF, but this one is definitely a good buy. It's really cheap on the used market right now, so I think I gave around 5,000 Norwegian crowns. So that would be 500 US dollars for this one. I think that's a good bargain. So yeah, anyways, I got a little bit off topic there, but yeah, I did capture some of those dragonflies. There's a little bit wind, so the plant or the grass that they're resting on are really moving. So I just put it on the lowest aperture, 2.8, and had really high shutter speed, and then just burst mode, and then try to capture some of them sharp. Even though they're moving, I think I still managed to freeze them and get a sharp image. So I did a couple of pictures. Actually, I did a lot of pictures. And I did some video, so hopefully they will turn out great. Another thing that was kind of cool is that I was between, like, I put the dragonfly between me and the sun, so I got some of that the shine in the water, like, what do you call it, like a glare, I think it's glare it's called, in the background, that created this really beautiful bokeh kind of circles. So I think it looked kind of cool. At least it looks cool in the camera. Let's see if it actually looks cool on the full screen. But I did try to experiment a little bit with putting the sun behind me, and also putting the dragonfly between me and the sun, and so on. So hopefully some of them will turn out great. But yeah, it wasn't that easy with this wind, but still, it was still enjoyable. It's still good to do something else than bird photography all the time. Now I think I'm gonna head on, continue further in, because my father, he went further in to the valley here, so along the roads. I think I'll catch up with him and see what else I can take pictures of. This is really a beautiful area. This really beautiful river here, and you can see that it actually splits in two here. One goes further down in the front there, and then the other one goes down here, and then it kind of splits in two down there again. So you have like this kind of almost like a labyrinth of a river. So that's pretty cool. It's really clear water too, crystal clear water. But I have not seen any bird life here at all. I've heard a couple of tiny birds flying high up in the sky, but I have not seen any birds. I think it's pretty late in the, like, since I'm this late in the summer, it's like September next week. I think most of the birds have already migrated. So there's not much bird life left up here in the mountains. So yeah, I think I'm unfortunately a little bit late for some amazing bird photography up here. But yeah, I got some birds at the top of Valdresflye, so at least that's something. Windy, but still really gorgeous place. Just look at this area. This open lake here. When I think of it, this looks like actually a perfect location for Milky Way photography tonight. So I have to think which place to go. Should I try it out here? It's pretty far drive up here. Or should I try it up at Valdresflye as it was previously? Not sure. I think I have to discuss it with my father, see what he wants to do. But I do not think there's a lot of city lights or light pollution up here. So I think this would be ideal. And I also think behind me here is west, where the Milky Way will be. It can get windy and cold, that's for sure. But there's definitely a good location, I think, for Milky Way. So let's see what we decide upon, because we're definitely going for Milky Way tonight. But yeah, there is nothing else to photograph up here. The light is too harsh for landscape. There's no birds. So I think the dragonfly and the damselfly is the best I could do here at this location at this time of the day. So I think I'll just head back to the car. I still have not found my father though, so I'm not sure where he is. He's driving somewhere, but yeah, I think I'll head back to the car and start on some food. So yeah. We are in the car, it's starting to get dark, so we're gonna head up to the mountain. We have decided to go for the first location. That's up at Valdresflye. Bygdin Lake. So we looked at the Photopills app to see where it's best to see the Milky Way during a certain time of the night. And at Bygdin Lake was the best option. So we're gonna head up there now. The skies are completely clear, there's no clouds at all. It looks like there can be a little bit of like, what do you call it, mist, like thin clouds in the horizon, but I think it will be okay. So yeah, we're gonna head up, scout our location, set up everything, and then just wait till it gets pitch black. So we have reached the water, so now we're hiking in this closed road, so we can't get further by car, so we have to walk the rest. But yeah, as you can see, it's starting to get really dark. I think you can only see a silhouette of me. But yeah, so the plan is to hike in, I think it's like 20 minutes walk. And then along this lake here, find a spot where it's just me and my father and very little light pollution. And then hopefully we will get some decent pictures of the Milky Way. Again, we are a little bit early in the year. It is still not like pitch black during night in Norway, so it might still be a little bit of blue hour in the pictures, but hopefully it turns out to be, or at least we see some of the Milky Way. Yeah, but I think it's gonna be a nice evening. Anyways, there's very little wind and the stars are starting to pop out, and again there is no clouds. So yeah, cross fingers for some nice nightscape at least. And then let's see if we are lucky with some Milky Way as well. I also want to add that it's gonna be hard to vlog with this DJI Osmo. I think I'm gonna try to vlog a little bit with my R6, but let's see. I'm gonna use both cameras tonight for Milky Way or nightscape. But the R6 is gonna be a time-lapse. And when the time-lapse is done, I can try to vlog a little bit with it. Let's see how that goes. But yeah, it's gonna be almost impossible to vlog with this because it's almost like pitch black on the camera here. So yeah. Not sure. Okay, you can see a little bit. Not sure if you can. It's really pitch black here, but you can see that the camera is kind of going right now, pointing due northwest. And right there is Northern Lights. So I have one camera pointing northwest for Northern Lights. That's that one. And then I have my father has this camera. You see it somewhere? Let's see. There it is, yeah. That's my father's camera pointing west for the Milky Way. And then I have another camera all the way down there with the lake, which you can't see, with the time-lapse slider, pointing west as well for the Milky Way. So there's 3 time-lapses going right now, so we're quite lucky with some Northern Lights, Milky Way, clear skies, not a single cloud. So this is definitely a night to remember. So when the time-lapse slider is done, I'm gonna try to vlog a little bit with that one, see if that works. But it is pitch black here right now. You can like hardly see the lights coming from this camera here. So yeah, let's see what I can do. But there's definitely gonna be a time-lapse of Northern Lights, time-lapse of the Milky Way, still shots of the Milky Way, and maybe a couple of still shots of the Northern Lights too if it lasts long. Right now it's going up and down in strength, so it started up really good with some purple lights on top, and it dimmed down to green, and now it looks like it's back up to the purples again. So yeah, definitely a good night to be out. And my father is sitting over here. I don't know if you can see it at all. There's so bad low light capacity on this DJI. But yeah, my father is sitting here doing some pictures of the Northern Lights with this 25mm on Olympus. So yeah, good night. Definitely a good night. But yeah, I'll try, when the time-lapse slider is done, I'll try to vlog a little bit with that camera. The R6 is definitely way better on low light than this DJI Osmo. Alright, so now I'm finally using the R5 to record. So hopefully I don't have any external mic, so it's only the microphone in the camera. So I hope you can hear me. I have my father on the side here lighting me up with his flashlights. I quickly paused the episode here because I really want to comment the outfit that I'm wearing. I am currently wearing 3 jackets on top of a regular sweater, and each of the clothings has their own hoodie. So if you see in the back of my head, I have 4 hoodies sticking out. And just looking at the footage, I really look like a chubby walrus right now. So I really just want to pause the footage here to comment it. But the reason is that it is the end of August and it's still really warm in Norway during this time. But being this high up in the mountains and this late at night and being this long up there, we've been there for 4 hours, it really started to get cold, like really cold. So yeah, we just had to dress up with everything we had and just stick it out, but we got some good results. So yeah, I'm just gonna resume the episode now. But yeah, we had a really good night. We had some northern lights up in northwest. We had the Milky Way from southwest to west, and then we also have actually a really bright star called Mars as well. So we've done a lot tonight. We've done 2 time lapses each, one of the northern lights and one of the Milky Way. When it comes to the Milky Way, I used the time lapse slider. So I programmed the slider to track the Milky Way core. So the settings to do that is to adjust the panning on the time lapse slider to do 15 degrees an hour. So I did a 2 hours time lapse, so it panned 30 degrees. So it tracked the Milky Way core in the west. So hopefully that will be turning out really good. I also used 15 seconds shutter speed. I could have probably have done a little bit higher shutter speed, but then I would have been way longer than 2 hours on the time lapse, because I did 400 pictures, 18 seconds, which then turns out to be 2 hours of time lapse approximately. So if I would have done higher shutter speeds, I would have waited way much longer into the night. But yeah, we finished the time lapse, and we finished the time lapse for the northern lights. And now in between, I have done some single photos as well. So right now, the Milky Way is going straight down to the west, and I'm pointing my camera towards the Milky Way. But I've done already horizontal with the time lapse, so now I'm doing vertical shots to get as much of the Milky Way as possible. So right now I am doing a 20-second shutter speed, lowest aperture. This one is 2.8 lens. I am at 15 millimeters as well, to get as much as the Milky Way into the frame. And I have ISO of 6400. This is the R5. It is a little bit worse on the ISO than the R6, but to compensate, I am doing 8 shots, the same 8 shots of the same settings, and then I'm gonna stack them in Photoshop to reduce noise that way. So then I just do image stacking to reduce the noise in the pictures. So I'm doing 8 shots with the same settings, and then I'm doing a 9th shot where I up the shutter speed to 30 seconds, because that's the maximum, otherwise I have to go into bulb and I don't have a remote with me. So I do 30 seconds with 3200 ISO, just to get a little bit less noise in the foreground. So that's going to be the foreground picture, while the 8 other pictures is going to be the sky or the Milky Way. So that is the plan. I'm also using the neutral density filter, no, neutral light filter, the filter that not reduces but removes the orange light. There's not much orange light here right now, but I've been testing it out, and it actually gives a little bit nicer colors to the sky, and also it also gave a little bit nicer colors to the northern lights. So I'm just using it tonight. I think it's a good thing to have on right now. So yeah, that's the setup right now. So I've already done a couple of shots, and hopefully it will turn out to be good. And I think that's it for this episode. We've done a lot today, so it's been a good day. Totally clear skies, and I couldn't ask for a better night than this. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Det håller i det.
Og så må du se opp dit.
Ja.
Ser du hendene nå?
Nej, du vet, du är ju skyggar ju. Ja, delvis.
Ja?
Ja, delvis.
Jeg ser... Hva er det nå?
Ja.
Ja. Er det sånn?
Jo. Ska ramla utifrån. Nej, nog står du i vägen för skyggen själv nu.
Gjør du det?
Ja.
Ja. Jeg må
Pass dig då, du detta utför här.
Ja. Det blir sånn da. Ja, ok. Har ikke mer enn det.
Nej. Var galen nog.